Welcome to Jessie Cars, my name is Eric.
And I'm Jesse.
And this is the Volvo XC60 Recharge.
All right, Volvo XC60. Now this is the fifth Volvo on the channel. I know the last two you have had mixed reviews and you've had the Swedish fanboys attacking you.
Yeah, some Swedes weren't all too happy with what I said, but unfortunately the S60 was a mild hybrid with like a sedan with a fuel economy worse than a more powerful, bigger, and boxier mid-size Mazda SUV, which is kind of like, okay. And then the C40 was an electric car which was pretty fast, but had so many technical issues that I wasn't really content with it. So
yeah, at the end of the day, if we're gonna do this, we're not gonna be biased. We're gonna say
exactly. We say it how it is, and sometimes that's not good. Unfortunately, with the last two Volvos, that's the case. So maybe this is the chance for Volvo, for Sweden as a whole, to go on a redemption arc and be all happy, all smiles again. And as always, we're gonna find that out by taking a look at the exterior first. Then we're gonna take a look at the interior. Then we're gonna drive it, and then we're gonna sum it up in the competition, in the final thoughts. And remember to like and subscribe because that helps us. Actually, it does
a lot.
Yeah, do that. Exterior.
So, I mean, as usual, I love the new redesign. Sorry, what year did this new redesign
Some year. I don't know.
Some year.
Maybe 2002, maybe 1974. We don't know.
I like this front end. I like these headlights. Eric taught me something new today. I didn't know this was called Thor's hammer.
Thor's hammer, it's like a grip and the, what do you call the big thing on the hammer?
The part that hammers.
I don't know. The hammerish.
I like these headlights. I like this front end. And I especially like that we don't have chrome.
Yes, because on pretty much all Volvos you can decide between like the dark and the chrome. This one has a dark.
Got a little bit of chrome right there, but that's it.
On the Volvo logo.
I can live with that.
There's no dark Volvo logo apparently. But no, this looks good. We have the optional fusion red color, which is actually it's very nice because it's kind of like the shades with the sun. Looks good. Optional 21-inch wheels, which of course I'm going to complain about later, but they look very nice.
Eric likes to complain. I
like to complain about wheels. And side profile.
It's, you know, nothing to write home about.
It's fine. Nothing bad about it. And then in the rear end,
the classic Volvo rear end.
It's a Volvo. The wagons look the same, the SUVs look the same, but that's nothing bad because I think it looks great, and especially that lower rear bumper, I must say. I
do really like that. I do kind of feel like overall this has more of a feminine kind of touch to it.
I can see that.
Not to say that a guy can't jump into this car. Eric has made a good point that maybe in a different color, I would have a different feeling about it.
Yeah, if it's like in the gray or white, but
a nice car, nice looking vehicle all around.
Speaking of feminine cars, should we get in it?
Let's go.
Okay, on the inside of the Volvo XC60, and in typical Volvo fashion, this is actually quite nice. I think the materials and all that, very, very nice.
For the most part.
For the most part, yes. Okay, some of the materials.
I don't really know what this is. It feels like some kind of recycled material. I don't know. It's kind of hollow.
Yeah, for 92, you're like, could be a little nicer, but all the touch points are really good.
The seats are nice.
The seats are nice. The wood.
I'm a fan of the wood.
The wood's pretty beautiful.
I can't stand when manufacturers put wood in cars that has grain, but it's just smooth and no texture.
Yeah, it feels like it's plastic. You never know. This one's wood, which is quite nice. The stitching looks good. I love the center stack kind of layout with the two visually.
The way it looks.
Visually, it's very pretty.
Functionally,
it's not quite great. First of all, when you use your kind of like 140 volt outlet, this doesn't look in like the lower portion of the slidable cover.
Moves around.
Yeah, so if you like brake or accelerate a little harder, it'll just flop around, which is like if that'd be locked like halfway, that'd be kind of cool. And that looks very nice. The shifter
is cool.
Beautiful, very beautiful. It's illuminated at night too from within.
I'm gonna knock all of this piano black as usual.
There's
too much piano black here.
I agree. There's too much piano black.
All I see are fingerprints.
Yeah, and like Practicality isn't amazing.
So there is nowhere here to put your phone. I don't know what is this for change. Like change is not a thing people really.
Yeah, you can't even put a credit card there. So
you can't put anything in here. Maybe a pencil. I don't know.
Your Swedish pencil.
So there's nothing here for a phone. So where are you're gonna put your phone in your pocket, or maybe here where you're supposed to put cups?
And the center console also isn't super big. I got to angle my S21 Plus, so it's not even an Ultra, which is like, this could be a little more usable.
There's two USB-Cs here. I'm kind of used to seeing them up front. So if you have your phone somewhere here, you're gonna have to run a cable through here, which you might not like.
But at least there's a pass-through, so you don't have to leave it open or anything, which is okay.
And speaking of cables, there's no wireless charger.
There's no wireless charger. Where's my wireless charger?
In this kind of price range, you would expect that as standard at this point.
I expect it at any car.
Yeah.
I don't expect
Pretty
it, like,
much.
there's no one else there. But going back to the good things, because this is still very good. Like, we just kind of had, like, got the negative out of the way first. So the seats, you said.
Very nice.
Very nice. First of all, I think they look nice, and we have a little Sweden flag.
And the adjustability for both the driver and the passenger is kind of through the roof.
Good. We have very nice massaging seats. Let's actually...
Ventilated and cooled at the same time.
At the same time. So I always point that out because people probably don't understand, like, oh, why would you want to have it heated, hot and cold at the same time? So the thing is, if you have the heated seats on in like a warmer weather, you know, you start sweating, kind of icky, yucky. So you put on the ventilated seats to kind of evacuate the air and the hot. But at the same time with the massaging seats, when you have it hot, you essentially can be cool while getting a hot massage. And it's great. And this is the first time outside of a Mercedes that we've had this. So thank you. I don't know if the limitation is just software for the others or it's like power, that like powering
Maybe.
both might be too much and the cables that are supplied aren't able to do this. This can do it. Thank you, Volvo. I very much appreciated that. The screens are, especially coming out of the CX-90, crisp. Like, this is crisp.
I still believe that CX-90 was a dud, but this is a really nice, it's like it looks like an IPS type panel. It's really nice.
Yeah, it's a beautiful panel. This is Android Automotive, so it's Android based, which is why we have Google Maps, we have the Google Assistant built in. So I'm logged in with my usual Google account. I don't need to connect my phone. I have everything in here. You can download Spotify and so on. And I hated this infotainment.
It's not the largest screen.
No, but I think it does its job still with mine.
Yeah.
I think it's very responsive,
Yep.
which is important. Passenger massage as well, which is nice, just the same. And I used to have a lot of trouble. I said this was the worst infotainment in the car industry, but they fixed it. If you go back to my other videos, you know what I've criticized. I'm not going to go too much into detail here, but essentially, you used to be able to like swipe to the left and to the right and have different menus here, which is very confusing. These moved around based on what you used the last time. Then you could swipe down from the top. It was very confusing. Now they put everything that was on the left and the right, it's just in a setting menu. It's way easier to use. You have all your off-road drive modes, all that. You have basically everything you can select here, ready. It's easy. Now it works well, including the Google Maps and our gauge cluster. It works well, it's nice. I like this.
They brought in a good UX guy, finally.
They finally, of course, just my criticism.
Yeah,
They listened to my
obviously.
video. It was played to the CEO of Volvo, and he was like, man, this Eric guy, he's on to something. So, you're welcome, world. I'm glad I was able to fix the Volvo infotainment for you. A couple of optional things, though. We have the beautiful Bowers & Wilkins audio system, $3,500 optional upgrade.
All right.
But it is very nice. Not as good as in the XC90. It's very confusing that there's an XC90 in the CX90, okay? I mean the Volvo one. Not quite as good as in there, but it's still very, very nice. I like the front.
Overall, like, again, small nitpicks. For me, this layout is kind of like, that's not a small thing for me. As a daily driver, this would bother me because I don't want to keep my phone in my glove box, and I also don't want to keep it in my pocket all the time.
I can see that. It worked for me the 6 days. I know you just have more in your car than I do.
Right, maybe.
But that also is because I keep switching cars every week, right? So it's a little different. But no, so I don't mind it. Just try it out, see if it works for you. Back seats are pretty comfy.
Very serviceable.
Yeah, the outer ones.
That middle seat, I mean, I consider this second row a 2.5 person because this bump up here.
Yeah, the transmission / battery tunnel.
I mean, you're going to be kneeing yourself in the face sitting back there, basically.
Yeah, like there's not enough room for three adults because there's no leg room for the middle seat, or you just literally have your seat near the leg up here and knees up here. But the outer seats are pretty nice. They're still heated. There's good amount of space. The materials are still pretty good.
Yeah, you got enough space for 2 adults and an Eric. Three adults.
And we have a big sunroof. And what I really like about Volvo is this, it's not a button, it's just like a
Swipe.
It's a swipe.
You know, for all you who are used to Tinder, you can just swipe.
Swipe right.
Swipe
right.
up, super like.
Eventually somebody will match. And trunk space, 25.8 cubic feet.
Surprisingly good.
Especially for a plug-in hybrid. There's a slight bit of a hump as you go like further in, but it's pretty good with the air suspension, the optional one we have. You can lower it and you can raise it, so it's very easy to load stuff in. And you can put down the second row seats from the second row and you get 63.3 cubic feet of space. Very
It has more space than larger vehicles in the market.
Yeah, so very, very spacious. Very nice. Shall we go driving?
Yes, I haven't driven this yet, so I would like to get behind the wheel in
450
a few minutes.
horsepower.
Ooh, yeah.
All right.
Let's test out this this engine.
Yeah, power mode on for maximum acceleration. Oh wait, we're still lowering. Oh, okay. There we go.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah, it goes pretty good. It goes pretty well.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Plenty of power in this. So, we have a 2-liter turbocharged inline 4.
455 horsepower, 523 foot-pounds of torque. That is no joke.
Yeah, thanks to its combination with an 18.8 kilowatt-hour battery and an electric motor, powering us from 0 to 60 in roughly
4.5 seconds.
roughly 4.5 seconds, which is significant. Like I've looked at everything else in this segment, and just nothing does this. Nothing does.
You wouldn't look at this car and think it's, there you go,
Whew!
and think it's a 4.5 second car.
No, you would not. And then we go back into hybrid mode. And now the car raises that itself up again because we have the air suspension. We can even go in off-road mode and make it nice and high. And now we're driving all electrically, nice and refined. So this drivetrain, I've had it in the XC90, and I kind of liked it. I found the engine, like when you run out of battery, the engine was a little raspy. It was a little not so good. So if we can kind of simulate that by going into a charge. So we can also set it so the engine charges the car, right? So it's going to rev a little higher now than it would.
I just noticed that, yeah.
And in this one, honestly, I don't mind the engine. It's not raspy sounding. I mean, it's not the most beautiful sounding, but it's kind of more dampened, more isolated. I don't feel the engine, the internal combustion engine, much in this one. So that's nice, and whenever you have battery power, right, you have up to 58 kilometers. This actually showed me when I charged up this morning, 65 kilometers of range, and it's going to be all electric, all smooth, all nice, right?
Now keep in mind in the winter, of course, you might take a bit of a hit on that.
Of course, in the winter it takes a little bit of a hit, right? Fuel economy is not going to be quite as good. So yeah, because we're on winter tires, I don't want to do a handling test today while we're stuck behind the cyclists. But I've done some handling tests, and it actually is quite nice in terms of handling. Yeah. It does, the rear comes around a little bit if you want to push it. No feedback at all on the steering wheel, but it's fine. There's still a cyclist.
We're not trying to do a hit and run today.
Woo! Hey, and then we got power. But you haven't driven this car at all.
No, I have not. I had a busy schedule this week. We haven't had time, but
shall we change that?
We can make this into a little reaction video.
Let's go. So,
all right, which mode am I in right now? So
you are in hybrid. Do you want power?
Yeah, I want to have some fun. I mean, come on.
Disability power here with your hand.
Yeah, I'm in GIMP right now, guys. Sorry about that, but it is what
workplace
it is.
accident. Not this workplace though. Different workplace.
No,
I'm not getting sued today.
not yet. Oh, hello. Okay.
And it goes. Yeah, ooh, it goes.
Ah, yeah. You don't need anything more than that.
You know what I need right now is a nice massage.
Oh, can you put mine on as well?
I cannot.
You can't.
That's, you gotta put your nose on. I don't know if you can right now, but I'm gonna get a tread massage.
I love how the biker is like right in the middle of the road.
Yeah, bikers are great. We love bikers. So, full intensity, full speed. I'm getting massaged, I'm getting ventilated. I'm all cool, all great. How do you like driving?
I mean, I've been in the car for about 10 seconds, but...
You're a journalist. You should know everything about the car right now.
Very smooth.
How's the chassis?
So far, the reliability is great. 500 meters, it hasn't broken down, guys. We're doing well. So far, my
It's
initial
smooth.
10 seconds impression, very smooth. The powertrain is obviously more than you need.
Oh God, yeah.
Because this is like, I see this as more of like a small family vehicle.
Definitely put in the power just to, like, if you want to surprise someone, if somebody's tailgating you a little bit, and you're like, nice BMW, bro. Let me show you what I can do.
Exactly.
And then you just fly off. And it rides quite nice, I must say.
does.
So the 21-inch wheels, okay, if you have like small imperfections, especially in Toronto, right? You have like these like patched up roads.
Yeah.
You do feel those. But big bumps and this right now, the air suspension does a great job.
I mean, if this was my vehicle, I'd probably opt for smaller rims,
Yeah.
smaller tires.
I would want to put 20s or maybe even 19s on this. Maybe 19s in the winter, 20s in the summer. But this is very comfy to ride, and it is a quiet cabin.
Have you tested all the driving assist and all that stuff?
Yeah, so the driving assist, we have the Volvo Pilot Assist, which is really nice, which should work right now. I mean, it's tied to cruise control, so just on the left-hand side, there's a center button.
Yep.
And you have Volvo Pilot Assist already enabled.
So,
Yeah, so it is a steering assist, which works extremely well.
okay,
Tied to cruise control, obviously it's not going to avoid the biker up there, so that's going to be
of course.
what you have to do. There's like so many bikes. There's 3 more bikers. 4 more bikes. No, okay, 3.5. That was a tandem. And
so it brakes for me there.
it did brake for you?
Yeah.
Okay, so it did recognize even the bike on the
It
side of the
recognized
road.
it, yeah.
Of course, it's more meant for like highway driving.
Yes.
And once again, semi-autonomous system, so don't take your hands off the steering wheel. If we do that, it's solely to show you how it works. But
the
it's
brakes are kind of aggressive.
yeah, it's kind of funny. Like, it feels like every week we alternate between aggressive and
I mean, that's also aggressive.
not aggressive, right?
So I find that when I put the brakes, it's kind of, I'm pressing the brakes and it's kind of braking for me in a way. Is it brake assist?
So what you're feeling is the regen, right? Because the regen brakes first,
Okay.
and then the physical brakes come in.
So I feel like it's hard for me to gauge how much pressure I'm applying to the pedal here.
Because there's probably not direct feedback. So
Yeah.
I found it, after having driven it for 6 days in a row, I find it like very easy to gauge, and
Okay.
I don't have an issue. I don't really feel the crossover point between like regen and physical brakes. But yeah, if you haven't driven it, I can see how it's a little weird. You can also do something like, if you want to wiggle your steering wheel a little bit, we can put it into firm, which will make it a little harder. If you want to have a bit more feedback, well, not feedback, just a bit more force. But as there's no feedback in the steering wheel, I'm like, whatever, might as well
Yeah.
might as well make it as light as possible, right? But no, honestly, this is probably the nicest driving Volvo I've been in.
I mean, this is really the first Volvo I've been behind the wheel of, so I can't really have an opinion there.
It's much better than Volvo. Always has this one issue, which is the drivetrains. The drivetrains are never good, except for now. So actually, I said I had the same drivetrain in the XC90. That's actually wrong, because this in the XC90 was turbocharged and supercharged and hybrid. I don't know how reliable that is, but it just sounds pretty crazy. This is no supercharger anymore, so it's only turbocharged hybrid, and it feels better. It sounds better. This is much preferable as a drivetrain. But is it worth $92,915 Canadian?
That's a tough pill to swallow.
That's a very steep price, and like, I'm kind of conflicted. On one hand, there's no real competition for this, because when you look at all the other cars on the market, all the other luxury plug-in hybrid compact SUVs, first of all, there aren't many. There's Audi and BMW, which offer one each, but the range is like 37 kilometers, compared to like almost 65, and it's just ridiculous.
It's 100%.
Yeah, and they have less power. It's just not worth it. It's not a comparison. Then we have the Lincoln Corsair, which is similar on range, not similar on power, but the Corsair definitely isn't that nice, but it's also 15 grand less.
Like I told you though, someone looking for, I feel like the customer
For a Lincoln.
for a Lincoln is way different than the customer for a Volvo.
I agree. The nice thing of Volvo is kind of like the stealth wealth.
Yes.
So if you see someone pull up in a BMW and a Mercedes and a Volvo, you might kind of scoff at the BMW or the Mercedes a little bit, like, oh, they're fancy, but you wouldn't at a Volvo, but it costs exactly the same price. Like, it's pretty much the same price, with a bit more power, with a bit more range than those do.
And I'll be honest, when I see this, sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
When I see this vehicle, do I see $92,000? And
No.
the answer is, I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so.
Okay, what's really annoying me, this keeps opening up.
This whole center stack, I'm
This
sorry.
keeps opening up whenever you floor it.
Whoever designed it, I'm sorry. Like,
That should be, like, put a lock in this, folks. Although it's not a big complaint, but like, come on.
but it's not just that. It's the whole utility of it. It's not that.
Yeah, it could be a little more. I don't mind it too much, but so I'm conflicted on the 92. There's nothing really you can compare it to, because nothing has the power and range and the size that this does. Really, the only proper comparison you can make is to the Lincoln Aviator, which costs the same, has about the same amount of power, but is a mid-size SUV. So it's bigger and has more space. The thing is, I haven't driven the Aviator.
Right.
If it has quality as good as the Navigator, I'm taking the Aviator.
And let's remember, you don't have to get this vehicle fully loaded.
Exactly, yeah, this is like $12,000 in options.
Right.
But part of that is air suspension and all that, right? So you kind of want to get that.
Yeah.
But you can reasonably get this at probably like 86 grand. And for the Aviator again, Navigator quality, I'll take the Aviator. Corsair quality, I'll take this hands down. This is a very nice car. It is very relaxing. I very much enjoyed driving it. 92 is steep, but I wouldn't say it's disqualifying it.
Here's the issue. The tone in your voice, the way that you're saying this, the recommendation is there due to a lack of competitors, and not because it's such a great vehicle for the price.
Well, but the thing is, there's no competitors because it's so powerful and has so much range, right? That's why.
True. There's just not that many plug-in hybrids
Yeah,
in this category.
which adds the question, and we're not going to answer that. We're going to answer that in our upcoming review of the Genesis GV70 hybrid, electric. Just make sure to like and subscribe, you know, that small thing I'm asking you about. Anyhow, if you have the capabilities to drive a plug-in hybrid, that means you can charge at home. Why don't you go fully electric? We're not going to answer that. You're going to find out.
I mean, I have potential reasons why you wouldn't go electric.
Yeah. GV70 review.
Yeah, sure.
Because we haven't driven, that's a direct competitor in terms of pricing and size, which we haven't had yet. So watch that. We're gonna reference back to this one and answer that question for you. Anyhow, thank you so much for watching.
If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. Turn on the bell notification even.
Exactly.
There's a bell.
Yeah, those bells. Remember to click the little bell so you get all notifications, because otherwise YouTube won't show you anything.
We're gonna drop a video every single week, and tune in because we got some cool cars coming out.
Oh yeah, sports car season, baby. Bye bye.
See ya.